They say love comes when you least expect it, but nobody tells you. Sometimes it comes disguised as inconvenience, as rain, as delay, as a moment you almost walked away from. That evening, Daniel almost did. The sky over the city had turned gray without warning. The streets were noisy, impatient. People ran for shelter. Cars splashed muddy water across the road. Daniel stood under a small bus stop roof, checking his phone, annoyed. He hated rain. Rain reminded him of things that didn't stay. People who left. Promises that dissolved. Then she ran in. Not gracefully, not carefully. Running barefoot, holding her heels in one hand, laughing like the storm was her friend. She stopped under the shelter, breathless. Rain droplets clung to her eyelashes. She noticed him staring. "You look like someone the rain offended personally," she said. Daniel tried not to smile. "It's guilty." She tilted her head. "Or maybe it's trying to introduce us." And just like that, the world softened. The rain grew heavier. One bus came. It was full. Another passed without stopping. But neither of them complained. They talked. Not the usual, "What do you do?" It was conversation, something deeper. She told him her name was Amara. She loved the smell of old books and dreamed of owning a small bookstore cafe one day, a place where people could fall in love with stories. He told her he used to believe in plans, until life rewrote them. He confessed he was tired of starting over.
She didn't interrupt him. She listened.
And for the first time in a long while, he felt understood. After that day, rain became their excuse. Whenever clouds gathered, she would text, "Is the rain introducing us again?" They walked through wet streets, shared roasted corn under flickering streetlights, argued about music, laughed at nothing, and stayed on late-night calls until sleep found them. Daniel noticed something strange. He no longer checked the weather to avoid rain. He hoped for it because rain meant her. Weeks turned into months. Love didn't explode between them. It bloomed. In the way she rested her head on his shoulder without asking. In the way he memorized how she took her coffee. In the quiet comfort of sitting together without speaking. One evening, as rain tapped softly against his window, she whispered, "If I ever leave this city, would you miss me?" He didn't hesitate. "I wouldn't know how to breathe the same," she smiled. But there was something hidden behind it. 2 days later, she didn't answer his calls. 3 days later, he found out. She got a job offer in another city. A big opportunity, one she had prayed for. She was leaving. The train station was crowded when he saw her. Suitcase beside her, ticket in hand, eyes searching. When they met, silence spoke first. "So this is how it ends?" Daniel asked quietly. She stepped closer. "It only ends if we're too afraid to continue." "I don't want distance," he said. She looked up at him, vulnerable, honest. "Then don't choose distance, choose me." The train horn sounded. Time thinned. Daniel's heart raced. Every fear he ever had about losing someone stood in front of him again. He could walk away, protect himself, or he grabbed her suitcase. "I used to hate the rain," he said softly, "because it reminded me of things that didn't stay." He stepped closer. "Then you came, and every storm started feeling like home." His voice cracked slightly. "I'm done running from what feels right." Tears filled her eyes. Outside, as if on cue, it began to rain again. Not violently, not harshly. Soft, certain. She reached for his hand, and together they stepped onto the train. Not because it was easy, not because it was guaranteed, but because love is not about convenience. It's about courage. Sometimes love doesn't arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it arrives soaked in rain, laughing under a broken bus stop roof. And if you're lucky, you won't run from the storm. You'll step into it, hand in hand. Because sometimes, the rain doesn't ruin your story. It begins it.